Morning folks, it's Wednesday 24th of June. Shattered this morning. Had a hard shift yesterday, so I was tired to say the least this morning when I woke up. So it's a bit of van life this morning, just chilling out to the rude awakening of a skip lorry that couldn't get down the road, so subsequently I had to leave my very comfy pit and ably assist in moving my van so the guy could get his skip on the drive, which I don't mind doing, but I was in deep sleep. Don't know whether you can make that out, but it's an absolutely corker of a morning. Blue sky. I think the van temperature, it's gone down a bit now. It's saying it's 25 outside already, which I can well believe. And it was 36 when I got in this van, but I've got the doors open now, so it's down to a comfortable 30. So the plans upcoming, got the weekend off, which is good. I've got to take the van down to have its service, even though it's not really done the mileage to have it. It's still keep on top of it if I can. It needs an MOT as well, which is first MOT. That's going to be on Monday. Then I've got a short week because work's changing a bit, so got another weekend off next week, which is unheard of, and then literally a couple of days to work, and then I've got a good stretch of, I think, 7 or 8 days where I'm heading up to Derbyshire. I spoke with Steve yesterday about the rest of the van. He's going to sort out the bit that I was supposed to have done just before lockdown started. There was a couple of other things I needed him to do as well. I'm going to have the pump that we put on for the sink. I know it's quite a minor thing, but it's not. I think it's a self-priming one, and subsequently I think they do a shore flow one, which is it's got something like 20 psi. It'll literally blow a hole in the bottom of your sink, but it's self-priming, so it'll draw water constantly. So I'm going to get one of those fitted instead of the one that we've got on there at the moment, because that's just not working at all. And then obviously he's going to build that seating area with the table area, which I said about when I did the little van tour. Should be, well, I've got 7 or 8 days, but it should be about 3 days, 4 days worth of work possibly. So I'm going to have a little meander up to Derbyshire probably in a couple of weeks, which is something that we'll document as well on here. So for today, I'm back in work later on this evening. So it's just a lazy day today. I was really pleased with the video yesterday. That was I think the best one. Yeah, best one I think so far. It's it pieced together good, and it was a natural event really that happened. It just happened to be documented on film. It'll be nice when it becomes a little bit more fluid, rather than when you set the drone up. I have to do like 3 or 4 pre-flight checks because I'm just still learning, kind of thing. Same with this GoPro. It's this remote. It's an absolute nightmare, and I keep looking at alternatives, but I don't think there are any. So it'll be stick with this for the time being. So as you probably guessed already, my life is I've not shown you the other half yet, have I? She'll feature in some videos at some point. She does this silly thing when you point the camera at her as going, well, where she just needs to be a little bit more natural around the camera. which I think will come in time. I think most people, when you stick a camera in the face, suddenly become a different person, and it's hard to be a natural person, I suppose, if you're not used to it. But just kind of, he's capturing something that, and that's the idea behind it, is capturing something that's just an event of natural kind of behaviour. It's like a bit like a fly on the wall, but you are having to carry the camera around with you, which is a bit, you know, it makes it a bit false, but it's not really, because this is, I would just be sat here thinking about the stuff I'm probably talking about now anyway, which is predominantly made up of vans and motorbikes and dogs, and they're the things that kind of flick my switch in terms of my life. We all have kind of materialistic kind of wants in life, and that's, you know, they're the materialistic things in my life that, you know, that you strive for. And, you know, van life is one that's just a massive part of my life, even though I don't get to do it. Like when I watch YouTube and see people live in the van life, I don't get to live a tenth of what they're doing. I'd love to be able to, like, just pack in work and go for 6 months, but not have that mindset where you're doing literally a loop, and at then some point you're looping back to where you start. It would be nice just to kind of go, and then just know you've got to be conscious of returning. And I think Ewan McGregor, or was it Charlie Boorman, said it's weird when they did the world. I don't want to go around the world. I'm not going to be able to go around the world. But when they did their world tour on the bikes, they said that it's the weirdest thing is, that's the man with the skip. He's filling it. It's the weirdest thing ever is going, but knowing that, like, most motorbikes end where you return back to the address you started. And I think to live in a van, I'd be more than happy. And some of the places me and Becky have been in the Out Hebrides, you could wake up and every day wake up in the same place, even if it was lashing it down. Just they never tire, the views at all. The landscape is just phenomenal. And even, you know, I'm not massive. I've kind of done holidays abroad. I've done many countries, and those days for me are kind of gone now. Don't get me wrong. I still, you know, I've got a passion to explore, but it's 90% of that exploration is the van. I don't know why. It's, you know, it's something about, you take it's your home kind of thing. You get to take your bed, and all your facilities are in this van. You've got a cooker, sink hob, you've got running water, it's heated, it's electrified, it runs on its own energy. What more do you need? It's toilet facilities, and, you know, hotels aren't built in some of the locations and places that you can find. Admittedly, don't get me wrong, I'm not criticising hotels, because I've stayed in many myself. But you know that you're the only one that's put your head on this pillow. And when you reflect and think, in this day and age now with this COVID, that's going to have to change. That circle of people going on 7-day and 14-day holidays into hotels and staying in hotels. It's just like cattle market of people, just of a conveyor belt. Surely now this way of life is gonna rock it. Surely I don't see, you know, people who are going to protect the families or have surely got that concern or mindset where they think this motorhoming and van life is the way forward. Not necessarily living in it, but just those kind of people who want to go touring and stuff. And that's my concern, is that there's a naivety of people who are ignorant to respecting how this kind of lifestyle is lived. I mean, already I see on social media, I'm not a fan of Facebook. I have it, I don't know why I have it, to be fair, but I don't really engage with it anymore. But you see posts on there when the seasons kick in of the NC 500 and rural retreats where millions of people have descended on these tourist spots or these routes, and they just, like most human beings, they just treat it like shit. Basically, it's their own country, it's their own back door. They turn up, they pitch a tent, or they have cans of beer or barbecues or whatever, and they just leave it lying around. And they've got no respect for the countryside. They're just ignorant. I can't even say that they're not the city folk. I just think they're ignorant folk who probably spoil it for the majority of other people. And unfortunately, those are the things that are highlighted rather than the respectful people that do it day in, day out. I watch YouTube and it's like Lost in Europe and Project Amber, John and Mandy on tour, and Mevy and people like that, and they do this van life. They live in their vans, and I think over lockdown they've been kind of persecuted for not going back to their addresses, but they haven't got addresses. That is their life, and that's how they choose to live. And that's something that the UK doesn't really address. You go into other European countries and it's recognised, that kind of van life, and they provide, and the facilities are a lot more geared up for van life people, and you have the services are set up for that. Whereas in the UK it seems to be an overnight parking, we don't want people there. I think the association of travellers and people who are going to disrespect the communities or the areas that they visit. Yeah, I've watched these YouTube videos and they park, you wouldn't even know they've been there, and they're out of the way, and they do litter picks while they're there. Then they're respectful of where they park and the areas they serve, and it's a strange tarnish of a community of people that choose to kind of persecute people for a way of life, and that's not just me being biased. I mean, I'd love to do this lifestyle, don't get me wrong, but at the same time I kind of see both sides of the story, or both sides of the argument. But if any message is in this video is to give these people a chance. They're not. It's a minority of people that are disrespectful to communities in terms of litter and these horror stories of people emptying the cassette toilets and stuff. But these people, they do it day in, day out, and they return to some of the same places. And they don't have home addresses, and I think the UK needs to address that. Pardon the pun. They're like bank accounts where you live, and you have to have your vehicle has to be registered to a UK address. Well, so if you ain't got a UK address, you can't register it to it. It's just little things that government needs to change, because I think times are changing, and I think this COVID is probably going to cause that change to happen. I think people are going to see that normality returns. This is going to be a lot bigger, I think. So anyway, socially, we're not sociable people. I just don't think we see the bad side of society. I think that kind of puts us away from wanting to socialise, and it's probably a bad thing, to be fair. It's not healthy, but at the same time, if you enjoy your own company, you enjoy your own world, and you shape that to how you perceive it. Then you see the nice things in life, and it's a filtered vision, rather than people. I don't know. They just do my head in nowadays. I just find them tiring. Some people are just society's kind of draining. Whereas the circle of people that I know, they have a positivity in life, which is they have a direction, whether it be motorbikes or vans or dogs, and that's what I surround myself with. So it's kind of taken me 10 presses of the start and stop button on this record video to get to that point, is that I like the nice things in life in terms of the mental nice things in life. And I know there's a lot of badness in life, and there's a lot of, nasty things out in the world. And for me, I'm just one of those people that, kind of selfishly, in my own personal life, don't want to have force fed to me, and I kind of turn my back on it. How the hell do flies fly in, and then they can't fly out? There's a bloody great big bloody door there, yet they still buzz against the window. So for me now, when I can actually get my arm off my side of my head, because it has gone to sleep now, and I have got pins and needles. I'm going to just chill out here. Bit of Radio 2 on. Bit of Ken Bruce. It's still quite early. It's a weekday, isn't it? It's not a weekend. And that's me. I like the radio. I don't fit the stereotype of television and football. I can't think of anything worse. But I kind of understand that people like football, and if that's what they like, that's what they like. But I couldn't tell you what are they called? Is it Tottenham United? Are in the Premier League or not? I don't know. Why do they get paid so much money? Who's worth that kind of money? It's ridiculous. You've got brain surgeons and cardiac specialists. All right, they get paid a lot of money, but they don't get paid millions of pounds a game or hundreds of £1,000s an hour. Why are we paying these people this much money? It's ridiculous. We glorify, I don't know, someone who can kick a bag of wind around a field. I don't get my head around that at all. I still can't be bothered to move. I'm staying here for the day. I'm just going to snooze and just chill out. I am absolutely shattered. I've got 2 shifts to do, today and tomorrow, and then it's the weekend. Yes. I'd fist pump the air now if I could move my arm. It's far too hot to walk the dogs. It's... Oh no, it's 28 degrees inside here, 31 degrees outside. Well, the 31 degrees is directly in the sun, so the thermostat's on the roof. So it's been a black van. It's like, is it Alec Guinness who got put in the cooler? And is it the Bridge over the River Kwai or The Great Escape? I can never remember. Bridget, might be the Bridge over the River Kwai. I probably got the name wrong and the film wrong. But he gets chucked into the cooler. It's like a Second World War. That's what this van's like on a warm day. So you have to have the doors open. I didn't want a skylight for some reason. Don't know why, that just switched itself off. Yeah, I was saying about skylights. Man have skip, man throw things in skip. Man hear skip from over here. Man getting irritated by skip. Yeah, if I wasn't here now, me and Becky, we'd be probably meandering up through the Lake District, up the west coast of Scotland, and then getting a Calmac ferry over to the Outer Hebrides, and then working our way up through there, Barra, the Uis, and then Harris, a bit of Lewis. I'm not a massive fan of Lewis for some reason. I think it's just a bit too commercial for me, even though it's still very empty. And then either back over to Skye or Ullapool, maybe Skye, and then come round the Isle of Lacalche, and then up through Ullapool, and then to Durness. I think it's Durness on the northwest coast of Scotland, and that would take, that'd be weeks. So what I'll do is, not tomorrow, depending on whether I do get away over the weekend, I'll get the bikes out. Might even go for a spin. The big bike's just been serviced and new tyres on, so that's all fresh and good to go. The other bike's just not done the mileage. He's supposed to have a service at 500 miles, and I think he's still done only about 85 mile. It's just practical of lockdown, and it's not been ridden, so it's kind of, apart from being through the estate a couple of times, other than that, not had its full use. But there is hopefully a plan for that later on, but I'll show you those tomorrow. Oh no, Friday. If not, we'll get out and get at some footage as well. Quite nice to so they could get the drone to follow me on the bike. That'd be quite fun. But the channel is going to predominantly be van life, and my life, and then I think the latter probably motorbike life. But it didn't kind of rhyme, because it's called van life, motorbike life, and my life. It wouldn't make sense if it was van life, my life, motorbike life. I don't know. It sounded a bit more catchy the other way around, but not necessarily in that order. So I am from Derbyshire originally, and I'm foreign to these parts where I am at the moment. I do miss Derbyshire. That's where I was born, and the familiar faces of people kind of knowing who I am, and my associations to people. You got the guys that, Chris, who did my Land Rover, and Andy, who works with him, and you got Steve, who does the vans. They're a great bunch of guys, and when I get to go back, I see them, and we have a good laugh. And it's like, I used to work with Chris, and we used to have a right good laugh. And it's like, no matter how many weeks or months you are away, you just fall back into this slot of banter and the conversations. Yeah, we do have some interesting conversations. Then there's a whole other life of people up in Derbyshire who, like I say, I would describe myself as a solitary person, but I'm the kind of person where people tend to know me, and I know them, but I wouldn't say I'd ever go for a drink with them. But you know people. I'm sure everybody's got these kind of people in their lives. But yeah, it's just Derbyshire's a beautiful place, and that will always, I will always kind of migrate back to Derbyshire, even when family members have long since passed. That's that will always be my route. So the videos, I hope this will be video number 8, but then it could be number 10, because I didn't number the first 2, and one of them was a drone video, and one of them was just an introduction as to what these videos, what my intentions were going to be. Yeah, this is a bit different to the other videos, and it sometimes might be like this. It can't always be vans, tours, holidays, kind of trips and stuff. So there's going to be a normality of life to some extent, but that's what my life is. So yeah, I'd love an action-packed life, 4 days off every end of every working set, and then taking myself off to do stuff. But you've got the normalities and the mundane stuff of life, which everybody has, and it wouldn't be an adventure if you did it every week. I think not so much the novelty would wear off. The novelty of going and come back would wear off. The novelty of kind of going on an adventure never wears off, I don't think. The thought of the adventure coming to an end, that's just like mental torture. It's amazing what you can find to talk about. We live about, I would say probably, when we get my yardage right now, a par 4, and it's the golf course at the bottom of the road. A par 4 and a par 3, probably about 500, 600 yards away, maybe a bit more, 700 yards from the beach. The beaches down here in Carmarthenshire, they're just amazing, and I'm amazed that, you know, this place isn't thronged from like April to September. I mean, obviously this year's an exception, but to like today, this is obviously it's a cul-de-sac, but obviously it's a cut through to like a channel, and it's just a constant flow of flip-floppy people, obviously taking themselves off to the beach. I think they're kind of grabbing the last bit of furlough before they're all tipped back to work. But yesterday it was busy with people being out and about, and so people are soaking it up. I don't think no one's going abroad, are they? So these kind of beaches, I think, will get busier. They're not too busy. A day like today just owes itself to finding a nice park up, winding the awning out, putting the blanket down, comfy pillows, cold beer, and chilling. It's one of those loungy kind of days where you just don't want to do anything other than just chill out. One thing I've noticed on these videos, which isn't apparent in real life, well, not that I've noticed, is I ain't seen that much sun anyway because I've been working through this COVID bollocks thing. But I have got quite a serious twat tan line, which in daylight doesn't look that bad, but on here it looks quite kind of like the rest of my body's like baby white, and this is brown. But it's not that bad. Don't know why I felt the need to mention that.